Life is weird.
Super weird.
So, what did we decide to do with our fascination for the strange and unusual?
We made a podcast about it. This is Weirdify. Now,
let's get weird. Welcome to Weirdify.
Welcome to Weirdify, everybody.
Welcome to episode 27
of Weirdify. Episode 27
of Weirdify.
Yep, welcome back. Your girls are here.
Right.
Doing it still. We hope everyone's doing super well.
Yeah, we do.
I hope everyone's doing phenomenally. And if you're not doing phenomenally, that's okay.
Phenomena.
Because...
I'm sorry, I had to.
Oh my gosh. You don't get me started. What I was saying was, even if you're not doing phenomenally, it's okay because everyone has not so ideal weeks.
Right.
Or months. Or years. But it'll always get better. And we're thinking of you. But
absolutely,
we hope that everything's getting better because you've tuned in for another round of weirdness.
Indeed. And this round is warm. Are you hot? I'm very hot.
Are you hot?
I'm very warm.
I'm toasty. Well, you turn the AC off in this room and it immediately, within about 3 seconds, becomes like the Abu Dhabi desert.
Yeah, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Recording live from Abu Dhabi.
Yeah, from Abu Dhabi.
It's actually, we
very, very hot.
are recording from the Weirder Fort, Abu, not Abu Dhabi. And this time around, Alex decorated it.
Yes, it's beautiful. It looks amazing in here.
And, you know, I usually go with the plant crystal vibe, but I realized I've had a lot of missed opportunities in the Weirder Fort decorating vein because he goes, I got you. I'll decorate. And I'm like, all right. All the crystals are right over there. And he's like, all right, cool. But instead of decorating with crystals, he decided to give each of us a country. So he gave Hayley Italy, and he pulled out a bottle of wine, some Italian seasoning, and a little bag of mini raviolis from our cupboard. And for me, he pulled out a can of beans, a little donkey keychain, some jalapenos, and a cactus plant. So that's the decor surrounding us today. Thank you, Alex.
It's wonderful. It's honestly, though, in all seriousness, I think it just adds a little bit of differentiation, a little
absolutely.
Spice, not because there's peppers, but
not because there's
literal jalapenos on the Weirder Fort carpet here. Good stuff. Yeah, it's pretty great stuff.
Speaking of crystals, on Friday I went shopping with my mom, and there's a crystal store at one of the malls near us, and this crystal store has the best crystal prices. I'm serious. Like I've seen such good prices on everything.
Is this the place with all the plants and random ass stuff?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's only crystals.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so it had really good prices to start. And then I'm looking around. And I really wasn't in there to buy anything. Like, it was just like, my mom was like, let's look at the crystal store because you love crystals. And I'm like, great, love that. And so we go in there and we're walking around. I'm like, wow, these are really good prices. Like, man, like I wish I could buy something, or just like, not that I'm in here to shop,
Yeah.
And then I see a sign that says, buy 2 crystals or stones, get the 3rd free. And I'm like, okay.
This is speaking my language.
Hold on, now we're talking. And then there's like a whole back wall of jewelry, like handmade jewelry that she makes. That's all 50% off. And I'm like, oh my God.
Whoa.
If I had $1,000, I would have left with so many.
If I had $1,000.
If I had $1,000, I'd buy so many fucking crystals.
Oh, man.
So my mom ended up buying me crystals.
Perfect. Did you get any jewelry?
No, I did not.
Oh, bummer.
This is one of them. She bought me carnelian.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And then she bought me, I don't know what this is, but it is so cool. It looks like stone confetti to me. It's like a little palm stone.
I'll have to look at it when we're not in the...
It's very
When we're in better lighting. But I see it.
And she got a tiger's eye stone.
Oh, nice.
And then we go to check out, and the lady who checks us out was like, oh, and here, have this other stone for free. I don't even remember what it's called. I believe it's a type of jasper. I'm not sure. And I was like, a free crystal? And she's like, wow, 1 free crystal. And this girl's excited. I'm like, no, that's 2 free crystals. Buy 2, get 1. And then you just buy 2 and so you get 2.
It looks like an avocado.
It looks like a vagina.
Don't vaginas and avocados just look the same anyway? For the most part. Vaginas are a little more ruffly.
I'll never look at an avocado the same.
But it does, right? The inside, the shell, and then the little pit. You know what? I said, Amanda said it, not me for once. Just putting that out there.
It does look like an avocado.
Yes, it does. I think it looks more avocado than
And it also looks like
vagina.
a vagina.
But I like your avocado vagina, Rock.
Me too.
Your avogina.
So we have some new additions, and I guess that segues into why she bought them for me. I'm going away for a while. That sounds so bad. I'm going away.
We had to lock her up, ladies and gentlemen. We had to put her away.
Yes, I am leaving on a...
She's leaving.
Wait.
On a jet plane. Don't know when she'll be back again.
Yes, I'm going away for a while, and that leads us into the month of October for Weirdify. And we have decided that your favorite hosts are
your
going to
hostesses with the mostesses.
We're going to take a hiatus for 1 month, which we know we're well aware of the fact that it's spooky season. We're well aware of the fact that this is all happening, but in the scheme of keeping Weirdify fun and not making Weirdify stressful, which has always been pretty much our number one priority,
right.
I feel like, was always like keeping it fun, and maybe one day it will be a job, but we don't want it to feel like a job while we have other jobs.
Right. Which we do.
This is our hobby. This is our outlet. And so...
And it's something we really enjoy. We want it to
Yes.
continue to feed and fuel our lives with joy instead of becoming forced and inauthentic and stressful, like you said. So
inauthentic and stressful. And I mean, you guys hear the recording, but the back end of research is a lot of it too. And putting together something that sounds cohesive, sounds good, is well researched, takes time.
Yep.
And unfortunately, in my schedule, October does not lend me that time. So this will be the last recording until the first month of November.
First week?
Right.
The first week of November?
That's right. Which is also our 1-year anniversary. So we will come back on the first week of November and meet you all here then.
Yep. Back and better than ever.
Yes.
Still weird, but with, fun things, new things, and the same shenanigans that
Absolutely.
you've hopefully grown to know and love.
And on kind of like, maybe it's not even the same note at all, but if you guys are enjoying the show, give it a rate. It would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
We are loving putting it out. We are gonna love continuing to put it out in November.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys are loving it, we only have 5 stars, which that's not a challenge. We love that on iTunes right now.
Mm-hmm.
But if you just want to throw us some stars, that would be great. We love stars. I personally love stars.
Yeah, right.
So much.
Yeah, she does. Write a comment and tell people. If you are enjoying the podcast, we would love feedback, and we would love to know that you are telling people that also like weird random stuff.
Absolutely.
That our little corner exists, because we enjoy it. We enjoy you. And we would love to have more enjoy it too. And
I think this could be a fun thing that just popped in my head this second.
Oh.
Haley and I have been putting Weirdify stickers
everywhere.
Yeah,
Everywhere we can.
around, I guess I should say. In our travels, we've been to a few places. I won't tell you where, because that doesn't make it as fun.
Absolutely not. They have to find it if they want to.
I mean, you know where we live, so there's probably some stickers around there. Well, yeah. But we've traveled to places and we've put stickers. If you find a Weirdify sticker and you listen, can you hit us up? Because that would just be really fun.
Oh my gosh, yes. Tag us at Weirdify Podcast on Instagram.
I don't know why that just popped in my head, but I've definitely put stickers in a few places.
I'm trying to think of a fun hashtag that they can tag their photos in. They can obviously tag us, but then hashtag weird if found.
Oh my fucking God, Hayley. That's perfect.
Hashtag weird if found. Hashtag weird if findings. Hashtag
weird if found.
Weird if found.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Hashtag weird if found.
You nailed it.
WEIRDI found. Everyone knows how to spell found.
Got it?
What if they're like us and I always have to think and struggle with how to spell weird?
I don't know how to spell found.
FOUND.
There we go.
Yeah, weird if found. That'd be so fun if you guys tagged us in that, because we'll only be getting more stickers. And then, when Amanda's away, she can put stickers wherever she is and who knows what. So,
yes.
Yeah, that would be great. That's a brilliant idea. Well done.
It just popped in my head. I thought it could be fun.
It's very fun. I appreciate it.
We have multiple topics in our queue of ones that we want to research and discuss here on our little corner of the world. But if there's any topics that you would like us to restart back in November, let us know.
Yeah.
We would love that.
Yeah. As a 1-year anniversary present to us and to you guys and to everyone else. Yeah, write in what you think. Write in what you want to hear about. Even if you want us to go back and maybe do another one.
Ooh,
that could be fun, because I know that
year.
So many times Amanda's been like, oh, this came up in my research, but I ended up doing this, but I really want to cover this. And then we're like, eventually we're going to circle back around.
Yeah.
So,
but if there's been any that are your favorites, which honestly, I feel like this goes without saying, but the paranormal episode 2 has remained one of my favorite episodes.
Yeah.
Not that we have to do paranormal again. I mean, we just did ghosts, but I'm just saying.
Yeah. And let us know what your favorites were.
Yeah.
Or what your favorite was.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm trying to think of what my favorite is. The paranormal one's good, except I talk about my sweaty creases a little too much.
I disagree.
I disagree. I think you were the perfect amount of sweaty.
You were the perfect amount of sweaty creases. Which currently I have a lot of sweaty creases.
I'm okay, actually, right now. I feel it more in my face.
Whatever. I'll
But
just be honest. I came home and took a shot of vodka.
Oh, yeah. Amanda's feeling real good.
And then I had pretty much my favorite alcoholic beverage, which is LaCroix and a shot of vodka. And then drank that while we talked before we recorded. And now here we are with another one.
Yeah. So. I'm drinking good old dihydrogen monoxide. No, you don't remember Halverson saying that? Yeah. No. H2, dihydrogen, monoxide, monooxide, 1 oxide, H2O.
Oh, Halverson.
Do you not remember him saying
that?
Thank
goodness for that guy, because that's how we met.
Yeah. We talk. It'd be so funny if somehow it circled back and if Halverson listened, he'd be like, these chicks.
Why would he tune into this episode? I don't know, but hopefully he does.
Maybe if we put it out there, it'll find him somehow.
I wonder, too, it's been...
Well,
it's been
14 years.
Yeah, it's been a few. Maybe he wouldn't remember us. But maybe he would.
I don't know. We were pretty obnoxious in our little lab unit.
I'm obnoxious.
That's pretty much me to a T. So
yeah,
I'd like to think, even if people remember me for my obnoxiousness,
I mean,
hopefully I leave a lasting impression. Well,
the reason that I got moved next to you was because the guy who was sitting next to me, we just loathed each other. We just could not.
Yeah,
he could
not handle it.
My teeth like
grind.
And I was just like, Halverson, you gotta fucking move me.
Yeah. So he moved you next to me.
And
the rest is history.
The more you know.
The more you know. All right. So
please get us on some kind of train track here.
Off of that segue, this week we are covering one that I feel like have talked about that we were going to cover. Not so much necessarily on other episodes, but just you and I have discussed wanting to cover this specific topic.
We have covered this specific topic on other episodes within our topic, for sure.
Have we?
Yes. Because I almost did one that you talked about, and then I didn't.
Okay.
All
right, well, this episode is all about portals.
Yep.
I think I know what you're referring to, and I was going to cover this too, and I actually didn't.
Mushroom portals.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, in our title, I think.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I did not cover mushroom portals. I was going to touch on it, but it was too much of a tangent off of what I was doing.
That you were going first, because I am so excited to know what you came up with.
Really?
Yes.
I'm excited to hear what you have.
All right. Well,
Amanda gets to go first.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Okay. So, portals.
Dun dun dun.
When I was a little girl, there was a game my friends and I used to play. I didn't play often because I've always been a bit of a scaredy cat. But in the name of not being the scared one and trying to act cool, whatever that was like in 3rd grade, there were a few times where I was convinced to play. I was always terrified of what I would see, though. My friends and I would turn off the lights in the bathroom at our school and shut the doors. There was no windows in the bathroom, so if the lights were turned off, the bathroom was pitch black. Then we would walk toward the sinks in the bathroom and stare at the blackness of the mirror. We would then start chanting Bloody Mary 3 times.
Oh my gosh. I've never done this in my lifetime. Ever. You're so much more It surprises me still that you're this ballsy.
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
This is not.
Okay.
Okay, honestly, in elementary school, I was very bullied. I was not liked. It was like a very small, private elementary school, and I was lucky to have like a friend or 2 or 3 in class. Okay. And nobody liked me. That was like just my namesake. So if somebody wanted me to include me in something, I was going to do it.
Right. That makes me sad.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. It was said that a woman would appear in the mirror covered in blood. Luckily, we never saw anything. And thank goodness, because I'm not sure how that would have scarred me for life, but I am sure that it would have.
Probably.
In doing my research for this episode, I learned that you're supposed to be in a dim lit or candlelit room, not pitch black, and that you are supposed to chant her name at least 13 times, although a few places said 3. This apparition has been said to scream at you, strangle you, scratch your eyes out, take your soul, even drink your blood.
All good things.
All good things.
All good things.
Yeah, all the best things. We want everything from a mirror.
No.
I am so thankful that we had no idea what we were doing and that we were doing it wrong. Because I think 3rd grade Amanda would have probably had a heart attack if any of those things would have happened.
Yikes.
Yeah, not fun. While I've never dabbled in trying to connect with or summon anything from a mirror since, there are many who have. Mirrors, and I'm sure we all know what a mirror is, but let's just read the definition.
Okay.
A reflective surface, now typically a glass, coated with metal amalgam.
Amalgam? Yeah.
That reflects a clear image. Mirrors have been the topic of folklore legends. They are written about in numerous books. They appear in movies and pop culture. They've been talked about in ancient Chinese and Mayan writings, along with, I'm sure, many more, all having one thing in common, that they are portals. These portals can be around for any length of time, 1 second, or thousands of years. And apparently, the longer you leave a mirror in the same place, the better chance it has of becoming a portal. So...
Yikes.
Move your mirrors. I don't know.
Move your mirrors. Hashtag move your mirrors.
Move your mirrors. Not that I do that, but...
or anyone, I don't think.
If you're worried about it, move them. I don't know.
If this episode makes you worried about them, move them.
Oh my gosh. All right. So there was a TV show when I was a kid that I loved called Adventures in Wonderland.
Unlocked a core memory. I remember talking about that, and you were the only person I knew other than Kelsey that knew that show existed. So totally. I was like, was this a fever dream?
Absolutely no. It's
so good.
It feels like a fever dream.
It does.
When I rewatch the intro.
It does.
I recently did with you, right?
Maybe. It sounds like us. I wouldn't be surprised.
I thought I had mentioned it to you, but maybe it was another friend.
You had mentioned it to me. I don't know if I feel like we probably watched the thing together.
But I was mentioning it to somebody, and they didn't know what I was talking about. And I was like,
oh, no, it certainly wasn't me. Because you and I were like, oh my gosh, thank God.
And like the Cheshire Cat was like a little puppet and like all these things. And they were like, no. And I was like, oh, okay.
No, it was not me. I'm right there with you.
And then... one way or another, I just watched the intro with you recently, and I was like, oh, this is weird. This is unlocking.
It puts you right back in like your living room as a kid on your couch with snacks, like watching it. Yeah.
Absolutely. So Adventures in Wonderland, where Alice would go to Wonderland. Each time Alice wanted to go to Wonderland, she would walk through a mirror in her bedroom to get there. I couldn't even tell you the amount of times
You tried to walk through
I tried to walk through my mirrors to get to Wonderland, but sadly I never made it.
I'm sorry.
I am too.
It's okay.
Because in that show, the queen wasn't so bad.
No, she wasn't.
She wasn't like...
She didn't want to behead her.
Right.
She was a sassy black woman, actually.
Totally. But she was not, like, evil.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a very lighthearted version of where you can go when you enter a mirror. On another show vein, there's another show called Lock and Key on Netflix that depicts a much different world that you can enter if you step into your mirror. The freaky part is that your reflection in the mirror is what actually draws you in. So you're looking in this mirror and your reflection is off. It's not quite right. And then your reflection smiles.
That's always the worst thing.
It smiles a smile where the corners of your smile draw up towards the ears a little bit more than is humanly normal.
Hate it. Hate it all.
And it's coaxing you with its hand, like, come on, come into the mirror. Come on.
Hard no from me.
Yeah. Well, if you do enter the other side of the mirror, you are not greeted with Tweedledee, Tweedledum, or a lost rabbit. You are met with mirrors, like the ones that you would see in a fun house. And the purpose is to basically make the person lost in a mirror maze forever. I had a dream about this.
After doing your research?
No, this was shortly after all of the dreams with with the shadow figure thing.
Okay.
And I woke up at the same time at 3 a.m. and I saw Alex standing in our bedroom looking into the mirror and having
about this one.
Basically the same thing. When he was looking in the mirror, but his reflection was off and then his reflection smiled.
But he looked at you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's even scarier.
It actually just sent shivers up my spine. It was. Yeah. It was looking at me.
Well, because Alex is like your safe space. And so trying to take advantage of that is terrifying. Trying to make you vulnerable with your safe space and to come in and taint that is god awful. Mm-hmm. Oof. Yeah. I forgot about that dream.
It's a bad one.
Yeah, that's not fun.
And that was similar to more of like the vision type thing where it's like, it wasn't really a dream. Like I was kind of like awake at that 3 a.m. portion and then that happened and I was like, what? Can 3 a.m. just disappear in my world for a little bit? I don't want you around.
I don't need this anymore.
Yikes. Anyways. Now, that is just 2 pop culture depictions of mirrors, but I do remember reading a firsthand account on Reddit, and I tried so hard to find it because it was, like, really good, but I couldn't find it. I don't remember if this person was a guy or a girl. I feel like I remember it being a female, but I'm not sure why, so whatever. I don't know. Just letting you know. I don't know. I don't know who the person is.
Yeah.
So this person would wake up in the middle of the night, and I guess they were little. Like, I remember them being kind of younger, and they kept waking up in the middle of the night, and they would wake up to a projection from their mirror. And it was a projection.
Like Star Wars style?
Yes.
Whoa.
And there was people in their room. And I don't remember like what era, but they said that it like they were just like
old-timey.
Yeah, old-timey clothes. And they'd wake up and there was like a projection of people in the room and everything was fine until the people that are being projected into the room realized that this person was looking at them and was awake.
Ah.
And then they would all look at this person and what did I write here? Their faces would start dripping with blood from their eyes and mouth.
Oh my God.
And their teeth would become sharp and get longer and longer and they would just stare.
I hate it.
And so if I remember correctly, they would just like cover themselves up with a blanket and like eventually they would just fall back asleep. And then, but it was like a reoccurring thing.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. Gross.
Now, those are all actual mirrors in all of these depictions, just like the one you have hanging on the wall or the full body mirror that you might have in your bedroom. But a portal extends to anything that has a reflection. A mirror portal extends to anything that has a reflection. And while doorways and stairs or elevators are considered portals as well, anything that goes from A to B or into a new space is a portal. Windows, TVs, your phone, and even some crystals are considered portals as well, as they all have a reflection like a mirror does. So a black mirror is exactly what it sounds like. It's either a reflection on a black mirrored surface, like your phone, or obsidian, which is a black stone, Or it can be any mirror, but the mirror is painted black. There is also black mirror scrying. Do you know what scrying is?
Mm-mm.
Okay, scrying is when you stare at a crystal in the hopes of it telling you the future or a message, just like a crystal ball, but in this case, you're looking into the reflection of a black crystal in the hopes of getting some type of message or connecting with a specific spirit.
Do black crystals is that normally what they're used for? Some sort of communication, or do they have other properties?
They have other properties. Black crystals in general are good for protection or like keeping negative energy out. They're good for absorbing all the bad juju.
Okay.
This was the first time I've heard of using a black crystal.
As a portal?
Yeah.
Or to access something? Okay.
So I was watching a girl on YouTube talk about it, and she had I have crystal towers, but there's also crystal pyramids, which I don't have any of. And the bottom of the pyramid is a square. And so she had a big black obsidian square that's reflective. And she's like, yeah, I'll use this to scry.
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, no, I'd never heard of that before.
Okay, cool. So how it works is you set an intention for what you're hoping to see when you look into in the darkness. So connect with somebody or get a message or something. And of course, everybody's intentions are going to be different, but it didn't seem like it's like scary.
Okay.
So it's not like you're looking into this thing thinking that you're going to see Bloody Mary. There's like better intentions that people have when they're using crystals and stuff to do this kind of work or divination or something.
Okay.
So you look into your black mirror and then you unfocus your eyes. And after a few moments, you're supposed to start seeing things move. And people have been said to astral project into different dimensions using this technique, communicate with the dead, and as I said, see into the future. Psychomantium, have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
Is another form of this where you sit in a dimly lit room and then you set up a mirror to reflect nothing but blackness.
I don't like it. I really don't. That's not sitting well with me at all.
No, I don't, me either. And then you ask for a loved one to come through.
I also don't like that. Kind of like going back to Alex and him being your safe space and that, like, whatever, trying to take advantage of your vulnerability.
Mm-hmm.
If you're asking for a loved one, there's plenty of scary movies where people will do anything to bring back a loved one or to access or to talk to them. And evil spirits and entities latch onto that and totally take advantage. Ooh, I hate it. I hate it. I hate that. Ooh, yuck.
So Raymond Moody wrote a book published in 1993 called Visionary Encounters with Departed Loved Ones, where he writes about his research using this technique with many people, mostly with success. Then there's the devil's box.
I knew we were going to get here eventually. All right, go ahead.
The devil's box of mirror, the devil's toy box, or the paranormal toy box. Take your pick.
It's all terrible,
Eeny,
so
meeny, miny,
whatever.
Right?
It's all Greek to me.
So this is where you have a cube, but inside of the cube is all mirrors, creating an energy loop that spirits are supposed to get easily in through, but then become trapped inside. I don't understand any of this.
Wait, okay, so I'm imagining a three-dimensional cube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Top, bottom, four sides.
Yes.
And so all of that is mirrors. So inside of this cube, since it's all mirrors, which are essentially all portals, a spirit can come through. Mm-hmm. But then because it's all portals and it's like confusing, it just stays in there. It can't escape from them.
Yeah, that's why I understand. So they can easily come in, but they can't easily go out.
Because there's multiple entry points because obviously there's 6 sides on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just gets stuck because it's a mix. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't really get the why it gets stuck.
Okay.
But apparently they come through and they have a hard time leaving.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not sure why. And I don't. So like, okay, cool. It's stuck in this cube. Do you just keep it in the cube? You gonna unleash it at some point? Like what? I don't get it.
Yeah.
Not something I dabble with.
Is it something that opens?
Well, yeah, because you close it and you open it.
Is Pandora's box one?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
But I've never heard of Pandora's box having mirrors all on the inside, but, you know, it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
A lot of people set up a tape recorder on the inside of the box, close it all up, come back to it, listen to the tape recorder.
Oh, a tape recorder. I was thinking like a camcorder.
Oh.
Which I was like,
fuck that.
No.
Oh,
no, thanks. I'll pass on that Blockbuster rental. Thank you.
Tape recorder sounds so ancient, but just like, you know what I'm saying.
It gets the job done.
Yeah. And then I just don't get it. So like you open the tape recorder and you have this potentially like the spirit trapped and then you open it up and then you just like let it out. I don't know. I don't get it. But
okay.
whatever.
Something's not clicking with me, which I don't think it's clicking with you either. But
right.
But I get what you're trying to say.
I mean, in my research of the devil's box, it's like, you set up this thing.
It's
and
probably not a good thing.
It traps spirits. They can come through, but it's harder for them to leave. But I don't know a lot about that kind of stuff. But like, if it's so easy for them to come through, it seems like it would be so easy for them to leave. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not the case. I don't know. So as already stated, some think that spirits come through mirrors, and that's like really one of the oldest myths. There are ancient one more time. There are ancient traditions, and people still do this to this day as well, where people cover their mirrors if someone is sick in the room, because it's said that spirits can suck your soul out through the mirror if you're sick.
I've heard that.
And you're more defenseless when you're sick, so people will hang, I don't know, blankets or shirts or towels. I'm not really sure what they're hanging, but they're covering up the mirror so that nothing can get through. Mm-hmm. And then on that note, people have also been known to see shadow people both inside their mirrors and then literally coming out of their mirrors as well.
Gross.
So if you're superstitious about that, cover them up also. And then if you are superstitious about mirrors, don't have a mirror facing your bed like I do. It's said that spirits can watch you sleep from the mirror and, as stated before, steal your soul. But then again, when we think about mirrors and people watching us and the time that we live in, there are mirrors that you can buy that have video recorders on the other side of it. And then think about like police two-way mirrors. I mean, you just never really know if you're being watched in general. So don't exclude your bedroom mirror from that. They're by design sneaky, it seems like.
I don't like it.
I'm just saying.
People have taken a sneaky something and just made it even more sneaky.
Totally. Absolutely.
Ew.
Okay, so let's talk about another popular superstition, breaking a mirror and having bad luck.
I'm intrigued about this part.
So this myth began with the Romans, and they thought that every 7 years your soul would regenerate. So if a mirror was broken, you were basically waiting for a new soul to take place of the bad luck soul.
Okay.
I'm not really sure why, like, the mirror breaking triggered that, but, like, breaking the mirror was just, like
if
bad.
you break it, then your soul is tainted, so then you have to wait X amount of years to get a new, fresh, untainted soul.
Right.
Got it.
Totally.
Okay.
And some believed that mirrors were connected to gods and actually their devices. So if you broke one, the gods would place bad luck on the last reflection.
Oh, interesting.
But don't worry. You can avoid bad luck if you act quick. As soon as the mirror breaks, you can throw salt over your shoulder, which is supposed to hit the devil, who's apparently always behind you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What about pepper?
No.
Does it make him sneeze?
No. Metaphysically, salt has a lot of protective properties and is said to help ward off unwanted spirits and keep your home safe. If throwing it over your shoulder doesn't sound good, try taking a bath in salt water instead, which sounds better to me because I don't have to clean up salt. Or just putting salt in the corners of your home. You can also, if you have the time and you're not worried about getting glass in your eye, grind the mirror up, and that should apparently solve your problem. Or you can spin in a circle 3 times, but only do that if you broke the mirror, because if you just spin in a circle 3 times, that's supposed to give you bad luck. But if you just broke the mirror, then you're like confusing the spirits.
Ogres have 8 layers. Mirrors have layers.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So now that we know about mirror portals, how do we close them? Well, having no experience in this at all, and not wanting to misspeak, I will tread this very lightly, but I strongly encourage you to research this if you are having an issue with this and find what resonates. In my research, it seems like it's basically like witchcraft. And I'm not a witch, and so I'm not trying to give anybody step-by-step instructions on how to close something or do something that I've never done. Right? There are many spells and divination tools like potions and such that I found when looking this up, and each one's going to be a bit different as far as what you're using and the words used, but essentially you order the portal to close or you demand it to close. And the most important thing is not to be scared. Negative energy is fueled on fear, so don't give it power. Whatever reason you're closing the portal, go into it knowing that you hold the power to close it.
Wow. So does that mean that someone would have had to put a curse or like make that mirror into a portal, or are all mirrors just inherently Portals.
That's the one.
That one.
That's the one that's what I have drawn to the conclusion of.
Okay.
I am sure that similarly that you could close it, that you could also use a mirror and just open it up as a portal to somewhere. Like if you can astral project through an obsidian stone.
Right. Okay.
And I'm sure that there are ways that somebody could open a portal in your home or do something that's not nice, right? But it seems like, if they're like, oh, the longer you leave a mirror somewhere, the better chance it has of just becoming a portal.
Mm-hmm.
I also read don't put mirrors facing each other, just in general, because that kind of creates like a loop.
Oy.
I remember doing that as a kid a lot, like the medicine cabinet mirror. And I would like,
yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
And it literally looks like stairs. So you have like a double portal, if you will, like stairs in a mirror. Ooh, I know, right? It's awful. So yeah, just be careful, guys. Look at your reflection and tell yourself that you're beautiful, but don't look for too long if it starts smiling back at you.
Yeah. I've heard stories of people who, same thing, they see their reflection, but it just looks a smidge off. Or like someone was looking at their mirror and then the reflection looking back at them, like just had one single solitary tear just go down their face.
No, I've never had that happen, and I really hope I never do. I mean, aside from that mirror dream thing that I had, but that wasn't me. I've never looked in the mirror and thought,
and seen something weird. Funky. Yeah. I think about this whenever I look in a mirror sometimes. And then I'm like, okay, no, I'm not going to keep actively thinking about it because I'm scared that I'm going to bring something to fruition. You know what I mean? So
totally.
I'm like, okay, Absolutely. We're just going to look away. We're going to go somewhere else.
Yep.
That was fascinating. There was so much good stuff in there. You did such a good job.
Oh, thank you.
I'm so proud. A lot of stuff I didn't know, actually, too.
Thank you. I had fun. I was definitely parts of it were a little bit creepy to look up. Yeah. But it was really interesting.
Yeah. A lot of that creeped me out.
Yeah, me too. All right, Hayley, what do you have for us?
I need to segue.
A segue?
I need a segue.
Okay.
We're going to take a little detour.
Okay.
Because I don't know why I didn't touch on this when I was reading my mom's story on the listener episode. But she also told me, so she felt that it was Lorna that was moving this mobile, whatever. And then you and I had felt that experience in that same room with something that just didn't want us there, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
She also has I'll call her a psychic. She's sensitive. My mom has a sensitive friend, and so she's read my auras when I was younger and just all these things. I've talked to you about her before. She always told my mom that the house that we used to live at where all this stuff happened, she was convinced it was built on an Indian burial ground.
Oh my God.
I don't know why I didn't just think about, I didn't say that.
Shivers down my spine.
I know. So my mom just casually, she was telling me about this mobile story. I was like, wow, that's so cool. You never shared that with me. And so then she was talking about what we had talked about experiencing whatever we did in that room. And then she's like, oh yeah, and so totally always told me that she thought it was absolutely built on an Indian burial ground. And it's very much towards the Indian reservation.
Why wouldn't it be?
Exactly.
I mean,
anyway, that's it. That's my side note. But I was like, can you imagine, poltergeist? So many things. You don't fuck with a Indian burial ground.
Wow.
So that's it.
No, but we do, apparently.
We didn't intentionally. Can you imagine?
Well, not you and me, but I'm saying somebody was we don't care.
The human race.
Right, exactly. Yeah. We don't care what's buried here. We're going to build some houses.
Yeah, so it was a tiny segue, but I thought it was worth mentioning because I don't know why I never mentioned it to you or said it on the podcast, and now I'm saying it.
Yeah.
That it could very well have been built on an Indian burial ground. Maybe it wasn't even close to my Aunt Lorna. Again, maybe it was trying to take advantage of a vulnerable situation, whatever it may be.
Ooh. And you had a wall of mirrors in that motherfucking
I did.
room.
Too. Okay, so one was a wall of closet doors that was just all mirrors. Yeah. And then one other wall, well, half of the wall was a sliding glass door that led to the dark outside with no curtains, with portals of death.
Never curtains. Never curtains in that house. All of the windows.
I have so many curtains in my house currently, but for some reason, my mom was just very anti-curtain.
Which is fine.
Or blind. Well, she had blinds at one point, but then they broke and she just never put new ones back up.
And you know what? To each their own. But if I had a house with that many windows
and doors,
holy crap-a-moly.
Yeah. We had a lot of mirrors, too. Obviously, every bathroom had a mirror. Yeah. All of the closet doors in every room except for the master was just walls of mirrors.
Oh, yeah.
mean, you don't have to step back in that house at all because we don't live there anymore.
That's right. No, but I am just kind of like walking through each room
all of
and
them.
going like,
the downstairs bedroom, all the bedrooms.
The downstairs bedroom had the most, and that so you couldn't avoid. You couldn't. I mean, unless you covered up, but it was also a closet, so I don't know how you cover up that from facing your bed.
Yeah, the other walls had doors. So like the one bedroom where my sister was growing up was closet door. Tall, long, big mirrors, and then it was the sliding glass door.
Yeah.
And then my bedroom was, that whole wall was broken up because that was the entrance to our Jack and Jill bathroom. So it wasn't a full wall. So the downstairs bedroom legit was a full wall because the bathroom door was on this wall, and then the other door was on the other wall. So it was just full-fledged, just all wall of mirrors.
No, for whatever, well, I guess not for whatever reason, but I spent many nights in your sister's old room when it was a guest room. And I liked that it didn't have any curtains because I could look out and see stars.
You were up higher. It was second floor.
Second floor was nice. Also, like the balcony and the gate and just like thinking like it's not like some random person
a little bit
probably
more
gonna walk up. Yeah. Not that the gate was locked, but it's just like a balcony. Like you would I feel like in my head I'm thinking like as I'm looking out, I would hear somebody walking up the stairs or opening the gate or lady bark or something. I don't know. But no, I didn't mind it up there.
Yeah, but downstairs, because that's where people are going to prowl. They're going to prowl in the the outside, like the backyard. And they're not going to go up a balcony or whatever. But yeah.
At all. No, didn't like that one.
Yeah. But it's okay. Just think about being able to look out the window and see the stars.
Yeah, that was nice.
Keep those memories. Anyway.
That's the ones.
That's my segue.
Wait, okay, I have a segue. From our
segue party
from our listener story as well then.
Oh.
Okay, so the person who wrote in about the person who was swollen in the bath.
Oh, I went home thinking about that one. I was like, that was so gnarly.
So that stuck with me too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
not ideal.
They wrote in as anonymous, but I know them. And they randomly texted me the very next day. And it's not like this person and I text a lot, like not very often at all.
Yeah.
It's more like a friend of a friend, if you will. But I mean, not really, but kind of.
Yeah.
And they texted me the very next day and they sent me a YouTube video of a crematory like walkthrough. And they were like, here, you're morbid like me. You might like this. And it was like a 17-minute video of a crematory walkthrough and how it works. And I was like, honestly, my jaw was just dropped. I was just like, this is fascinating. And then I was like, I was just thinking about you yesterday because I finally got to read that story that you wrote in because we finally had enough stories to read. And just thank you for that. And thank you for this crematory walkthrough. How fascinating is this? Thank you very much.
That's so funny. See, they sent it to you for, that exact reason.
Yeah.
You'd appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. They're like, you're morbid like me.
I was like, so you're morbid like me. Here you go.
Indeed.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that.
Okay. What? I don't know how, honestly, I'm like keeping anything together. What did you?
I'll tell you that yours is scary.
Oh, and yours isn't?
Mine's not scary.
Oh, man.
I think mine's really interesting.
Okay.
But it's not scary.
Not oh man, like I'm disappointed, but just like I'm surprised, I guess, like that you didn't bring some.
Because you covered mirrors. And so that to me I knew was going to be more of a scary bit. And I would have made if I had done mirrors, I would have probably obviously covered a good amount of what you covered, but I also probably would have made it way scarier because I'm like, I'm going to take this opportunity and run with it.
This was probably the first episode ever where you knew what I was doing.
I did.
I texted you and I was I can't. Every time I typed in portals, Minecraft came up and I was like, honestly, this is so annoying. And I couldn't find my search engine cues right. Like every other episode, it's very easy to find information on what I'm looking for. And this one, I was just like, I don't know. Honestly, I am just like stumped.
Send help.
Mentally, like I'm just like, Hayley, do you know what you're doing? You're like, no idea. And I was like, you think you're gonna?
I can't help you, friend. Sorry, do not phone this friend.
Yeah. So, anyways,
but it all worked out. You covered it beautifully.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay.
So for years and years, humans have been fascinated with the idea of the existence of alternate universes.
Ooh, like a parallel universe?
And being able
I almost dipped into this! Okay.
And being able to instantly transport amongst them. It is often the base plot line for many sci-fi TV shows and movies, but what if the concept was real? What if the concept has been around for thousands of years? What if the concept was used by aliens? Let's talk about stargates.
Ooh! Stars. Okay. Stars. I love stars.
Okay. So Stargate was a popular 90s TV series, movie franchise, and then was eventually made into a video game. The plot of this series was that aliens used a wormhole device known as Stargate to instantaneously transport throughout the cosmos. Today, the term Stargate refers to
Beam me up, Scotty.
not Star Trek. The show was Stargate.
I know. But
Yeah.
we're transporting to some other place.
Yeah, beam me up, Scotty.
Okay.
So today, the term Stargate refers to basically just that. An otherworldly door or portal to outside realms. These portals are often hidden within the magnetic fields of both Earth and space. Not unlike wormholes, stargates are often elusive and are extremely difficult to trace and locate. However, a plasma scientist has discovered a technique of how to spot these portals. Jack Scudder of the University of Iowa was able to locate quote-unquote portal road signs, if you will, which he calls X points, and these are magnetic fields that intersect and flow between the Earth and the Sun. These X points release large amounts of charged particles out of the portal, therefore making it easier to spot with the correct equipment and data. Once Scudder was able to recognize the indications of the existence of a portal, he then was able to notice that there were similar patterns that were happening all over the Earth's atmosphere. NASA has been able to observe these patterns, and they apparently happen approximately 10,000 to 3,000 miles from the Earth. Most of these X points happen when the Earth and Sun's magnetic fields have an open pathway. This causes the area to pulsate with charged particles, and we are actually able to witness them most often in the form of the northern lights and geomagnetic storms.
Did you see the storm the other night?
Oh my God, yes.
So great.
It was Have you seen Endgame? Avengers Endgame?
Yes.
Okay. So, you know the TikTok thing was like, in the thunder and rain. Okay, so someone dressed up as like Fat Thor and was just like standing in like the in between California Adventure and Disneyland with the lightning going, and they were like swinging their hair. It was like, in the thunder and rain. But yes, it was trippy, and it came out of nowhere. It was really bad in Santee. A whole bunch of my coworkers live there, and they they were like posting photos and videos.
It was thundering and lightning out here where I'm at, and it was so weird. So we got home, and okay, so I went to Arizona last weekend, and it was a dry heat. So it was 108, but it wasn't bad. Like it was like fine because it was.
There was no
heat.
moisture,
and I am a very moist individual. It takes very little, if not anything, to get me to like break a sweat. Mm-hmm. It's just part of my essence. And so we got home, and I'm thinking like, fucking A, man, it's like 85 here, and it feels like it's 10 times hotter than it was in Arizona at 105, and there's no sun out, and there was blistering sun in Arizona. Like, it just was crazy. So of course we come home, we open up all the windows, and our lovely neighbor next door who blasts his music was blasting his music. The only time I challenge it is when we're recording for the sake of the podcast.
Sure.
But we weren't trying to make enemies that night, apparently. So Alex gets home, and he turns on loud music, and it's fine, you know? So we're doing our thing, and then I walk back into the office to put some stuff away, and I smell wet asphalt. And I was like, that smells... It's like one of my favorite smells.
Yeah,
it's like the smell of rain or just wet ground. It's so good. And I was like, wait a second. And I like walk over to the window that's open, and I hear it dumping. And I was like, Alex, it's raining. And he's like, what? And we literally run outside in the middle of the street, and we were just like standing in the rain. Alex is like crying tears of joy. He's like, finally. And we're just standing in the rain like, I don't know, ducks? I don't know who stands in the rain, not San Diegans. Because there was like somebody walking to their car with an umbrella, and we were like, really?
Pulling a full singing in the rain moment.
Oh my gosh, it was great. And just as soon as it started, and it was thundering, and it was lightning, I was like, this is so great. And then just it stopped, and Alex was like, no.
I didn't come in contact with any rain. I saw the lightning, and it was lightning. Like I had gone, I forgot what I was doing. I had left, and then I was pulling back into my driveway, and there was like 3 arms of lightning, like right over, not like directly over my house, but like in that direction. Like,
Yeah.
I looked past my house, and it was just full-fledged thick arm, and then it branched.
Me.
It was gnarly.
There was no delay of the thunder.
Yeah. I've never seen lightning or heard thunder like that.
It was like in the same moment.
Yeah, but we weren't hit by any rain.
It was dumping here. It was
crazy. That's
cool.
so weird. Yeah, it was trippy.
That's
it
like the
was
second
really
or third
trippy.
time it starts raining and Alex just runs out into the rain and I'm just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah. Well, hey, if it's raining, why not?
I mean, in San Diego, when we move up north where we want to go and it's, more rainy all the time, I probably am not going to be like running out in the rain every single day.
Yeah.
But I don't even remember the last time it rained here, so.
It's been a very long time since it's rained here.
And it was just thundering. But you could also see stars over in this part of the sky because it was like clearly a moving storm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Please continue.
Oh, no, all good. That's okay. It was a good segue.
It started with one segue and led to many more.
This is the segue of segues.
This is the segue train. Hop on or hop off wherever you like.
Yeah, but wear a helmet.
Right. But Hayley said, and maybe knee pads. We don't know.
Maybe knee pads.
But no tinfoil hats because you and me drink my lightning. On this segue particularly. On most of our segues, tinfoil hats are welcome. Yeah. Anyways, please
not
continue.
This one. Okay, so back in 2015, NASA admitted that the idea of Earth portals, or points that can teleport a human being from one point to another, are in fact a reality, and they have been studying them for quite some time.
Did you touch on this in, sorry.
My antimatter?
Project Pegasus.
Oh, Project Pegasus. Sort of. That's traveling through time.
Okay.
This has nothing to do with time. This is just happening at the same time, just on different planes or fields.
All right,
okay.
All right.
Now, what if I told you that the idea of these Stargate portals and possible physical evidence dates back thousands of years? Throughout countless ancient civilizations, we often come across the concept of a creator or creators that normally would reside in some sort of higher plane and would visit the Earth via some sort of channel, right? So there are ancient sites all over that have left people wondering, is this an ancient Stargate? So let's go through a handful of them.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy,
ladies and gentlemen.
So the first one is called the Gate of the Gods, and it is located in Marca, Peru, and it was discovered in 1996 by Luis Delgado Mamani. And Mamani made the discovery while he was getting a layout of the area for his recent job acceptance of a tour guide position. Now, natives say it was in fact believed to have acted as a gateway for the gods. Mamani said that he had a dream about the doorway even before he had made the discovery. And it is essentially made up of 2 doorways, one measuring 22 feet by 22 feet, while the other one measures only 6.5 feet. And legend says that the large door was for the gods themselves, and then the smaller one was for mortals to pass through. And then some of these mortals were super heroic, and so they would enter and then become immortal themselves and then join the realm of the gods.
Ooh, and you didn't have to like defeat a bunch of one-eyed somethings?
Flying purple people eaters?
Well, I was thinking like Hercules, how he had to like do all these things to regain his godlike status.
Oh, yes. Nope, you didn't.
Okay. Hercules.
So another legend says that when the Spanish entered Peru in the 16th century to loot the Incan riches, an Incan priest fled with a valuable gold disc. The priest came across the doorway that we're talking about, and it at the time was guarded by shamans, so he presented the disc to them and they let him pass. They assisted him in a ritual and he was able to pass through the smaller door. The priest never returned and had passed through a tunnel of blue light to the land of the gods. Investigators did in fact discover a round, disc-shaped indentation in the rock, which led them to believe that if a disc-shaped object was in fact inserted into the opening, that it would be held in place by the surrounding rock, making this story plausible.
Oh my God. How long ago was that?
It was discovered in 1996.
When did this guy go through the tunnel?
Oh, it was in the 16th century
when
the Spanish invaded to loot all the Incan.
Okay. Well, the 16th century.
Civilization.
Isn't it? Okay.
That we're in the this is the 21st century. The 2000s.
Are we in the 22nd now?
No, because I think the 20th. Oh,
I don't know. I always thought like the 20th century was like the 1900s and then it was like the 21st century. Is that just all of the 2000s? I sound so dumb. I'm sorry.
no, you don't sound dumb. We're gonna clarify. The 21st century is the current century in the Anno Domini era or Common Era.
Century.
It began
is 100
January
years.
1st, 2001, and it will end on December 31st, 2100. So the 20th century was the 1900s to December 31st of 2000.
Okay.
So 1 to whatever the 100th year is when it's the century.
So what century are we in now? Because we're in 21.
We're in the 21st century.
Oh.
It's going to end into the year 2100.
Gotcha. Sorry.
No, don't
I
apologize.
don't know why I was thinking like 2021 and like the 21 was throwing me.
Oh.
But it's not. We're in 2000.
Yeah, it's 2001 to 2100.
Yeah.
So
we got-
1901 to 2000 was the 20th century, and so now we're in the 21st century.
Gotcha. Thank
The
you.
more you know.
I swear I'm not an idiot. Okay.
No, you're not an idiot at all.
I've never had that explained to me, and I've never known what.
Now you'll
makes
never forget. She's like, I can either confirm or deny that.
the presence.
We'll see what happens.
A human child.
It could let in a child.
He shook me like a dog.
He picked me up with his mind powers and shook me like a dog.
We can neither confirm nor deny the presence of a human child.
That's my favorite Pixar movie. And that's probably my favorite line in any movie ever.
His whole little face shakes.
I know.
Okay.
All right. So
Good talk.
Good talk. Always good talk. So the second is the Abu Ghurab, and it is located in the Abu Sir Pyramids. And Abu Ghurab is said to be one of the oldest sites on Earth. Within the site lays a large platform made of Egyptian crystal that is said to be in tune with the vibrations of the Earth. It is said to open the senses so that a person can communicate and be one with the sacred higher energies of the universe. It is said to be a stargate for what they call netters, or gods, basically.
Okay.
This is similar to a story that the Cherokee Indian tribes have, which claims that formless thought beings would travel via sound waves from their homes in the Pleiades star system and make their way to Earth.
Some people think that they are Pleiadians.
Oh, some people believe that they're from
Yeah.
the star
Pleiades.
system, Pleiades
Mhm.
star system.
I almost covered that when we did aliens for episode 4.
Well, again, if people say they want aliens again, now we know. We're going to bring it around eventually.
Yeah, I had the suggestion to look into Pleiadians, and then I looked into it, and at the time, maybe it's less far-fetched to me now, but I was just like, let's do something a little closer to home. So we went to Arizona.
Okay, that's fine. That's real close to home. It's just
Anyways.
it's a stone's throw.
Anyways, yeah, Pleiadians. Like, people legit think like they're from the Pleiadian, which is, did you know that that's also the Subaru logo?
Really? I did not know
The
that.
7 Sisters. Yep.
Wow. The more you know.
Fucking A, man. You guys are learning so much.
So much. This is chock full of a whole bunch of good stuff. Is it chock full or chop full?
I always say Chuck.
I do too, like chalk. Like
Yeah, like
Rudy's got the
Sidewalk
chalk zone. Like chalk.
I just think the poison for Cusco.
Cuckoo?
Jesus.
Ride the poison.
chosen especially to kill Cusco.
Cusco's poison.
Cusco's Jack.
Cusco's Jack. I never liked your spinach puffs. Speaking of spinach puffs, I made a Oh, God. Not spinach puffs. I made spinach artichoke dip for the first time, and it was amazing.
Oh, of course it was. In case you went.
My sourdough starter seems to be doing well. I need to get bread flour, and then I'll probably be able to make a loaf, hopefully this week.
Great. Well.
So when I see you Thursday,
hopefully.
I'll bring you some.
She's very great.
If I have them. I mean, it has to because...
Otherwise, I'm going to have to wait like over a month.
Yeah, then you're going to have to... you'll never get... I'll have to make another sourdough starter.
No.
Anyway.
Okay.
Back to
Our
Abu Ghurab. I'm probably butchering that. I do apologize.
That's all right.
So on this platform, there are also signs that it was built using advanced technology because there are perfect circular engravings that can be found along the sides of it.
Okay.
Which freaked me out. It makes me think of Barney and Betty Hill and how they had like the
Also episode 4. I love that.
Yeah, the circular, like perfectly round, like burn marks on their car.
Oh, yeah.
And then crop circles, you think it's crop circle, and that's like perfectly round. It's not like a crop oval. It's a crop circle.
It's not like a crop dodecahedron.
Yeah. It's a
circle.
It's a circle.
Wow. Not a hexagon. Okay.
Okay, so the third one is the stone arrangement in Lake Michigan. So in 2007, scientists discovered a stone structure 40 feet below the surface of Lake Michigan, not unlike Stonehenge.
Okay.
So one of the more interesting pieces of the discovery is apparently there's the carving of a mastodon, which is believed to have gone extinct some 10,000 years ago, which helps aid to the possible age of the structure. And I was intrigued about what a mastodon was. I thought I knew what it was. Mastodon. Oh, there's no photo? What the F? Okay, yeah, I was going to say a mammoth. Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's what I thought. I don't know why I second-guessed myself.
Okay.
I do that often, but that's okay. Many believe it to be the remains of a Stargate, and it has been the location of many disappearances, granting it the name the Michigan Triangle, like the Bermuda Triangle, but in Michigan.
All right, see what you did there.
So in 1891, a schooner ship vanished into thin air while sailing on the lake, taking all of its 7 passengers. In 1921, 11 people disappeared, and their boat was found lifelessly floating in the water. None of the people were found.
Ew.
And in 1937, Captain Donner of the O.M. McFarland retired to his quarters after a long day of sailing, and 3 hours later, his first mate went to wake him, but he found that the door of his quarters were locked from the inside, and after breaking down the door, the captain was nowhere to be found, and all the windows and doors had been locked from the inside.
Oh, yuck.
So he was just gone. Poof. He poofed.
He had to go.
He's like, deuces.
I got to get out of here.
I gotta go see a man about a horse. So the fourth one is
I gotta go see a man about a mastodon.
I gotta go see a man about a mastodon. I want that on a t-shirt. I gotta go see a man about a mastodon. That's really funny. Okay.
I was taking a sip of water, or I would have said it soon.
No,
it's not water.
The dramatic pause because I wasn't expecting it at all. It was great. Oh my gosh. Okay. So my fourth one is probably the most well-known, and that's Stonehenge.
Okay.
Located in Wiltshire, England. Wiltshire? I'm going to say Wiltshire. Sure. I'm trying to imagine it with an English accent, so I'm like, Wiltshire. That sounds right to me.
How about the Shire? Like from Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo Baggins is. All right. So when and why it was built has been debated for years, and some historians state that it is approximately 5,000 years old, but many others believe that it was already fully built before any of the first settlements arrived 5,000 years ago. So it's been there for a long ass time.
Yeah, it's old.
It is also said to be set up at a point where 14 ley lines converge. Do you know what a ley line is?
No.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you. So ley lines are lines that were created to draw connection points between historic landmarks or structures. So ley line.
Okay.
A line drawn from between the 2 points, right?
Okay.
So if you think about all of the structures and whatever on our planet, 14 of those ley lines converge and meet at Stonehenge.
Whoa.
So because Stonehenge is where 14 ley lines converge, many people think that this makes it a Stargate. So there is at least one historic event that supports this theory. In August of 1971, a group of hippies disappeared at Stonehenge while they were trying to tap into the vibrations of the site. About 2 a.m., a lightning storm randomly hit the area, and a policeman who was there said that he saw blue light coming from the stones and heard screaming in the distance. But when he arrived to the site, nobody was there, and there was only the remains of a tent pole and a damp campfire.
Okay, wow.
Yeah. They done poofed. A lot of poofing.
They done poofed.
They done poofed.
They done poofed.
And there are more that we can research, but I would have been here for 17 years. So my final one is Sedona, Arizona. So Sedona is a small Arizona town that at one time was the most sacred city to Native American tribes. It is said that the picturesque red rocks that surround Sedona actually create vortexes that can transport people into alternate realms or dimensions. I feel like a lot of shit is happening in Arizona. And New Mexico.
Yeah.
And Nevada too. But more like Arizona, New Mexico type situation.
For sure, yeah.
So I was not surprised.
Mm-hmm.
So the Native Americans believe that the Red Hills were spiritually charged, and people have even said that they've heard sounds coming from them.
Oh, okay.
In the surrounding mountains, there is even a giant stone arch known as the Doorway of the Gods, and it's believed to be a vortex. People have claimed to see blue light coming from this archway, and again can hear the faint sound of bells is what people equate them to.
I like that.
And
Tribesmen
advise not going through the archway should you happen to come across it.
Oh, really? Okay, thanks, tribesmen.
Yeah, so don't do it.
Really looking out.
So across my research, again, I was fascinated at the number of different cultures who have very similar stories, special gods or beings, and hidden doorways and portals leading to their realms. It didn't matter how far away from each other that they were on Earth because there's definitely common threads across all of their stories.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you think? Are they simply strange structural choices, or are these ancient stargates? And that makes me wonder, when will they be used again?
Okay, first off, I would just like to say, I love that you I don't know if this is like every episode, but you tend to end on a question.
I do.
And I love
I want
that.
people to think.
And I love that. Like, as you were starting to propose this question, I was like, oh my gosh, she's wrapping up. And now I get to like ponder what she's just talked about. So I just want to say I love that.
Oh, thanks.
Like on the last one, well, I guess it's not really the last one, but the collections episode where you're like, so would you...
Are you team mustard or ketchup?
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God, I love this. Sure, why not? I'm about the why not. Like, innocent...
Like, why wouldn't they be used again?
Sure. Why not? Why wouldn't they be used again?
Maybe
and why wouldn't they be Stargates?
Maybe they're just out of order for now, or they're just, they'll be back on lunch, be back in 10,000 years or something. If there's that many on the planet, and weird things are continually happening in our world, so
yeah, for sure.
Who knows?
No, I definitely, I don't know. I'm just in this mindset of like, why couldn't it be? Why wouldn't it be? So why not?
Yeah.
Like, why not in Michigan, this thing, like, why couldn't they have just walked around with freaking mammoths? Yeah. Oh, that reminds me, I need to see a man.
About said mammoth.
Yep.
Mastodon.
A dandelion. Must be the last one of the season. Oh.
Are you talking about Ice Age?
Yes, I know. It's not Disney.
Doesn't anyone care about Sid the Sloth?
No.
They do this every year.
A dandelion. I made dandelion tea from dandelions when I was in...
Do you make dandelion tea from something other than dandelion?
Oregano? Well, okay. But like I didn't buy them in tea bags. Like I picked dandelions and then I pulled out their petals.
How was it?
It was actually very nice.
Wow.
I've been seeing dandelion tea all over my personal TikTok feed. Not sure why. Maybe because they're in season.
In season.
There was so many dandelions at this place that we stayed at. And so I was like, I'm just going to make some dandelion tea. I've been seeing it. I'm going to do it. So I made dandelion tea. And then, of course, Alex's mom, Gina, we all know and just love and adore. You can't, and she can't not.
She can't do anything wrong.
And what does she do? She doesn't pick 10 adorably cute, such a small amount of dandelions. She picks a whole giant ass bowl of dandelions because she makes all the things with dandelions. And I was like, oh, I made dandelion tea the other day. She's like, cool, I'm going to make dandelion lotion. But nothing is in a small quantity with her. It's always in...
She goes hard on everything.
She's like, do you want to go pick some dandelions with me? And I was like, Absolutely.
I've never wanted anything more.
Absolutely. And then I was out there for probably like 30 minutes picking dandelions. Maybe it was less. I'm not sure. Maybe 20. And I was just like, I'm going to pick any more dandelions. And she was out there for at least another hour and a half picking dandelions.
She had like a bushel of dandelions.
See.
A small vat of dandelions.
Yes. All of that to say, I think they're stargates.
Dandelion. Oh, man. Yeah, I think that...
Well, the 14 points coming together at Stonehenge was like,
there's
whoa.
too many things that just mathematically,
shouldn't.
like, be it like the Mayans, any of it, that just, I wouldn't say that shouldn't be, but they didn't have the technology, as far as I'm aware, they didn't have like the concepts of mathematics and whatever that we have nowadays, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, there's no just coincidence that it's like this. I was like, it's all there for some reason. And you know me, I'm like, it's all there for some sort of reason. Totally. It serves some sort of purpose.
Yep.
Whatever that purpose is, we probably, as small-minded creatures, don't...
Can we be hippies and go into the major?
I don't want to disappear.
But maybe we go somewhere really nice.
A field of dandelions.
It's pretty. I just wonder, when you said, like, okay, they disappear, where do they go? Right? Like... So in my mind, I'm thinking...
Where do the people go?
Yeah, like, I'm like, okay, fine, Stargate, fine. They go somewhere else. But where? And I'm just thinking, like, do they go... Okay, and these are, like, the options in my mind of, like, what I've experienced on Earth. Do they go to another planet and just, like, exist there?
Okay.
Who knows? Why not?
Okay.
B, do they move somewhere on Earth, but then wouldn't you be like, hey, we're in this place on Earth, right? Like, help us find our way back to where we're from. C, do they get, like, sent as, like if I was, like, a caterpillar in a field of dandelions, and now we're a different thing. We're not humans anymore, but we're caterpillars.
So, like,
or
reincarnation,
birds.
Like, they get reincarnated as something else.
Sure, yeah.
I think it's probably having to do with a multiplanal situation.
And it's not even necessarily this universe.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool.
It's like, I picture like Guardians of the Galaxy, and there's the scene where they're jumping
Chris
through
Pratt.
all these, yeah. They're jumping through all these wormholes over the course of X amount of minutes. And I think that it's like that because wormholes have been shown to exist.
Mm-hmm.
We still don't necessarily know, or at least they haven't disclosed what happens when we go through one.
Yeah.
It's just a pocket of energy that, you know, things are just happening, and similar with Stargates. But it's like, if we're made up of energy and we're made up of matter, and enough of this like charging of whatever happens
in this one particular point that has like a supercharging ability.
Then who's to say that we wouldn't just poof?
Right. Wow. And you know any poof?
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we'll eventually poof. Who knows?
I was in my early, like before I landed on Mears.
Sorry, it took me a second to realize what you were saying.
Sorry.
I thought you were talking about like a place called Mears.
No.
And I was like, where's Mears?
Before I landed on Mears, at Lake Forks.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, oh.
We had our Twilight Marathon. Anyways. Before I landed on Mears, I read 18 sentences about that Michigan thing. And then a very little bit about Stonehenge.
Very specific number.
Maybe it was 17. I don't remember.
And a half. And a semicolon.
And like a very little bit about Stonehenge, but not specific about it being like a Stargate or anything. Just like that this was probably a portal or something. They were talking about different types of portals where like this type of portal is like, you know where you're leaving and you know where you're going.
That would be bananas.
And you know where you're leaving and you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you're leaving and you don't know where you're going. And like just all these different like types of portals where like, okay, I'm here on Earth in the year 2021 according to everything I've been told, right? And then I'm going to go walk through this portal and I don't know where the F I'm going. It makes me think of, because we live Once Upon a Time where it's like you just... Hopefully this is the right one.
Yeah.
Hopefully this magic bean takes us to the enchanted forest.
Yeah.
And not to some other realm.
It's just a crapshoot.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a lot for my brain to process.
I was looking into mirrored, well, because it kind of came up in my research, like mirrored realities, just like looking in mirror portals and stuff. And there's a scientist out there who's like legit researching mirrored, like a parallel universe that's mirrored to ours. And she has this whole scientific experiment where she's going to send particles down a 50-foot something, and if they do this certain thing, then it literally proves that there is a mirrored, like a parallel universe.
Wow.
That we just can't see, which is like, you know what? Sure. Again, like we touch back, I'm sure we've touched on this in multiple episodes, like our senses and how they're limited.
Yeah.
And it's like,
and we only use a very small percentage of our brain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, there's probably a lot going on we don't see.
So then I wonder what would happen when those, if it's planal, then you're going to have, it's going to be like this. It's never going to have a cross section, you know?
But it could, because remember that, oh, what were we? Maybe it had to have been you. Yeah.
I don't know. You're not
I think
saying
it
sentences.
was. Sorry.
No, okay.
I'm thinking. I feel like I don't want to like steal another podcast's thunder, but I feel like I heard this on like a listener story from another podcast's like listener story thing where a guy.
Yes, it was. It was the guy whose wife and the black-eyed kids and that one.
No.
Oh.
No, it was like. His girlfriend came storming through his apartment, and she was like, "We're over, we're done, we're breaking up." And she was like,
it was
dressed different.
I remember that one too.
It was just like everything was just skewed ever so, and he didn't get it. And then
radio rental.
Oh yeah,
it was radio rental.
Absolutely, you're so right. Thank you so much. Yeah, and so radio rental, which is by the way a fucking phenomenal podcast.
Yeah,
you should
it's really
absolutely
good.
Check out. It's like one of my absolute favorite podcasts. But yeah, this guy like had this crazy parallel universe experience where it's like, I mean, yeah, it's parallel, but sometimes there can be a glitch in the matrix.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then one person who looks exactly the same if it's mirrored.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like Amanda A is conversing with Hayley B, and you just don't know, and you're like, wait, what?
And Amanda A, it's parallel. It doesn't mean it's the same. It just means it's running along the same timeline. This other person was like dressed very different and had a very different like, you know, characteristic to them.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, because it's not the same, but it's the same, but it's not really the same. It just looks the same.
Yeah.
So
it's a croissant of...
Croissant?
Yeah, like layers.
Oh, okay.
I was trying not to say onion. Yeah, like filet dough.
Onion?
Yeah. I was just thinking about like, it's a very layered concept is basically my point. Gotcha. I was trying to not use onions again.
Okay.
A croissant of...
What about parfait?
Parfaits may be the most delicious thing on the whole damn planet.
Parfait is delicious.
I said, hey, you go like, hey, you want to get some parfaits? And no one's ever like, no, I don't like no parfaits.
Oh, man.
Yeah, science parfait.
Okay, that was great. Portals was fun.
Portals was a good one.
Yeah.
It was a good one. I'm glad that you were able to find a topic that you were like, oh, snap. And you did very, very well.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I agree. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah. I don't know what else we could do for portals other than the
Minecraft.
other than the previously mentioned mushroom portals, which I would definitely love. Like fairy portals as a whole, that would be really fun. So that's what I do if we do portals again.
Yeah. So well, let us know if there's anything you want us to recover when we return for our 1-year anniversary.
Yep.
We're going to miss you all, you Weirdiphiles. We're going to miss you so much.
Yeah,
we'll try to. No, seriously, like I'm going to miss like researching and recording.
Yeah.
It's just not feasible for the mental health.
No, there's a lot of things happening, a lot of moving pieces.
Yeah.
And so for Amanda's sanity, I'm sure for my sanity at some points.
Sure.
It would
be your
for the
sanity
best.
because like today we would have to have everything recorded for October without question, and that would have been a lot for both of us. That would have
been a lot, especially since we had crazy weeks.
I was going to say, your week was insane. My week was insane. It just, it's for the best.
It is. And we know that you guys are going to have an amazing spooky season.
Absolutely.
Amanda's birthday is also in October.
Oh, that's right. It is.
So we hope that you do incredible things. Be safe. And I do not want to confirm nor deny that there won't be little updates on Instagram or anything like that. Sure. I don't want to set us up for failure, but who knows? Check back on Instagram. See if there's little bits and bobs from us. You never know.
Sure.
Little sprinkles.
Absolutely.
Little weird sprinkles.
I love it.
And yeah, you can find us pretty much across all social media at Weirdify Podcast.
Absolutely.
episodes available on YouTube. Go back and re-listen.
Sure.
See how it's been almost been a year since this podcast has been in fruition. So it's like we have come so far. The quality has come so far.
I agree.
I still say the same amount of likes, but I'm working on it.
We edit some of them
There's
out.
not as much screaming. At least I like to think so.
No,
but
episode 5. I mean, I do notice that I scream sometimes, but sometimes you're very scary. Episode 5, we also didn't have the same editing situation that we have now. It's come a long way.
It has. And it's fun to go back and see how far we've come, but there's still some really good, good content.
And it's fun now that we have this will be 27 of our standard episodes, not counting What's the Weird, of course. And so that's 27, which doubles to 14, carry the 1, 54?
In regards to
Topics covered? Like subjects,
oh, yeah.
if you will?
Yeah. So 27 topics, but then we've each come with
I think
minus
that's 54.
Yeah, well, 27 times 2 would be 54, but
Okay.
technically it was 53 because we did the Winchester Mystery
she's
House.
so on it. But then Gina talked
same.
about one.
Oh, so then we're back up to, and Alex told a story.
True.
But yeah, Gina talked about one too. So yeah, we're back up to 54.
We're even.
We are. Thank you, Gina.
Yes, absolutely. And I was going to say something else and I've totally. Oh, it's fun for me specifically, like Alex's brother. He flew through the Denver International Airport and he was talking to Alex about it or something about he was listening to Weirdify and he's like, oh, have you listened to episode 6? And oh, you should listen to that one because they talk all about the DIA. And then he took pictures of Lucifer.
Yeah. No way.
Yeah, I cannot believe that slipped my mind. It barely came up in our travels, but he was like excited to show me and I was excited to see it and he showed me pictures. And it's so weird too because that was already a weird topic and then he took pictures of Lucifer and it's like literally a blue horse
giant,
statue.
veiny horse.
But it's like in a field. It's
Yeah.
like not even, it's just so, it's even weirder. He was like, here it is. And I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, it's weird.
So, yeah.
Hence why it's on this podcast.
So it's fun to like send people, oh, you know what, actually I touched on that. Or, you know, one of the homeowners was like, oh, I want to listen to more podcasts. I'm not sure how to like find more. And what episode do you recommend? And so we recommended, I think werewolves and fairies was the one that we recommended, if I remember correctly.
That was one that Alex really liked.
Yeah. So
except ketchup, it's like mustard and hair.
he
The
really
collections
liked
is a
that one.
fan
And
favorite.
I had brunch with Unicorn Dad and Nady Poo today for Nady Poo's birthday. And Dad was talking about how he just loved that one.
Oh, I'm so glad.
And he's really adopted Unicorn Dad because he found like a tiger with wings and a unicorn that he gave to Alex as like a birthday card because his birthday's in August too. And then he was like signed it Dad and then he put like a unicorn horn on the D.
Oh my god.
And Alex was like, you're really embracing this. And he's like, you know, unicorns is just, it's never gonna leave me.
Yeah,
so I might as well embrace it.
He's reached his full form.
Why fight it?
Yeah.
Why not just
it just makes him I thought it was nay impossible to make him for him to be even cooler. And for me to love him more. But I just love him more.
It's more like when given the opportunity, he will just flourish. Maybe next year we should like do some Halloween thing with my dad. With like Unicorn Dad.
That would be so
I don't know what we could be, but we'll mull on it. Anyways.
Yep. Thank you for listening. Thank you guys for your support. It really means a lot to us.
Thank you for tuning back in. We love our Weirda family and Weirda Files so much.
We do.
Our Weirdified.
It's gonna be really strange not recording.
I know. I'm really like, it's not. Just know that it was not an easy decision to come to taking a hiatus for October. There's a lot of podcasts that take hiatus for months, and then they post a lot of things in months, and they take hiatuses for months.
Yeah,
and that was just never really in the cards for us. But you know,
life happens, man.
It happens, and again, this is supposed to stay fun. Fun is like the number one, really. And so once it starts getting stressful, it's like, okay, we have to reevaluate the situation. So, yeah. And
this particular season of life was a reevaluation one. And it's all good things. None of it's bad.
Absolutely.
At all.
Oh, it's all wonderful, it's all amazing.
Incredible opportunities.
Yes.
It's all incredible changes.
But it's opportunities that need and require a lot of focus.
And attention.
And you know, the research that we put into us also requires a lot of focus.
Yeah.
And in order to not skim and make our research or particularly my research, lame or just not up to par where I would want it to be, it's better to just...
And we don't believe in putting out content that we don't back. So hence we had bad quality with the first recording with Unicorn Dad when he was on. So what did we do? We re-recorded it. We make do, and anyway, I don't think we need to harp on it anymore. No. But it's all good things. We're going to come back full force.
Absolutely.
With more weirdness.
Again, it wasn't an easy conclusion, but it was the right conclusion.
Agreed.
And if you miss us in the month of October, you know right where to find us.
Yeah. Send us a message.
Exactly. Give us a hello. Yeah. Weirdifypodcast at Gmail or weirdifypodcast.com. You can hit us up there.
Yep.
We'll miss you. Trust us.
Yeah, we'll miss you. Send good vibes for Amanda.
And Hayley. Just send her good vibes too, because we love her. That's fine. She's out of happiness.
Yeah, we love you all.
Absolutely. Thank you for your continued support, and we will see you in November. And for the month of October, guys, please remember to keep
it weird.